So I'm going to demonstrate a couple of new action tags that were added in version 15.2.0. Just a reminder to everybody, a place that you can go and learn about action tags is on the left-hand side menu way at the bottom. Learn advanced design features, and then click your action tags, and it brings you right to the action tag page. These new action tags all have the word prompt in them. There's just two of them. So this is how I search and find my action tags. So you can read more detailed information here. But one of the things that these action tags are helpful for preventing the save your changes warning under the conditions when you navigate away from a data entry form or survey page and nothing's actually been changed. That happens a lot when you do set value and default. And use today and now. So I'll show you how all that works. So what I have is just a form. This one doesn't have any of the action tags there, but I've used today and now and done a default to set this value. And since I've opened up an actual record, record number 2, if I want to go to the other instrument in this project, I click it, it says, oh, wait, you've changed things. But technically I haven't. It's all been auto-generated within REDCap. So I'm going to leave without saving changes. So this form is basically the same exact form, but I've used the save prompt exempt when auto set. So this is the action tag you would use when you have things that are using set value or default on your form. So I've done that with these 3 fields. And now you see if I move away from this instrument without saving it, it doesn't even ask me. So it's very handy in that way that if you have a lot of auto sets or auto values and set values and defaults, this will help you. You have to be very careful to make sure you capture all of them because you could have some inadvertent data loss if you don't do it in all the right places. So in this example page, I've used the other action tag, which is save prompt exempt. And what this means is if I type in a name here, this is not by set value or by default, and I move away, it's not going to ask me to save it. So you have to be really, like I said, really aware of what you're doing. This one does not have the action tag on it, but if I click no and move away, it says, do you want to save the changes? So these are very powerful action tags, and you really got to think about when to use them. Let me show you in the designer. This is the one that has the action tags. Here is my date. I have it set up as automatically doing today. And here's the action tag. And that's all you need to do. This one is where I used a default to set up the tag, the words, and then save prompt when auto set. Again, auto set is when you're using default, set value, today, and now. And the other one is when it's actual data entry fields that you don't care if they fill it in and they leave without doing anything else. You could have it not prompt them to save the record. Any questions about that?
I do.
Okay.
At the risk of the fact that we record this and we'll post it, and somebody from Vanderbilt watches it and hears my comment, I'll be excommunicated. However, why would you do this?
The specific example that they give here is, makes sense to me. When somebody opens a record and they set the last modified value to the username, and everything else on the form is data entry, but they haven't done anything, and they leave the form, you don't need it to be saved to say that Carol S. was on there, because she didn't do anything. She looked at an empty form. So why ask her to save it?
So if there is data in the fields, then it will save the record. If there's data in fields that don't have the save prompt exempt,
Yes.
then it will save those. And will it then save the username, or
Yes.
it will?
Yes. So if there are multiple fields and there's only one that has this save prompt exempt or save prompt exempt when auto set, every other field that has data that was entered during that interaction with the record
All right.
will not get rid of the save prompt. The save prompt is really only about the one field if that's the only field that changed.
Oh, oh, that's kind of cool, I guess. So I see. Then my question is, am I correct that it just created the record 2, and there's no data in record 2? Correct? And it created the record anyway.
No, that was some other testing. So let's do
Yeah, that'd be great.
add a new record.
Yeah.
The problem is my first record doesn't have any of the test data. I mean, doesn't have the prompts. Let me do it this way. Actually, that may not work either, because when you say create a new record, it creates the record regardless of you saving anything or not.
No,
Okay.
you don't put anything in it, it won't save the record.
So if I go to add edit records and I hit add a new record.
And then close it. Just close it.
Okay.
Nothing happened. Now, if you do I'm looking at it and then I'm going to leave it, and you get the prompt, do you not get a new record ID?
Okay.
Now, just go ahead and get out, or, go to the next form thing like you were doing. Yeah. And it's not going to do anything. Hang
Right.
on, I have it open. Let me just see. Real quick, I'm going to refresh my page here. Okay, no record's been created yet, even though you're on record 3.
Because I haven't
Use
hit
default.
right, never got right.
That's why it created the record. So if you leave this,
I don't think it's going to create it either, because I have the,
you have it set on the default.
well, no, this is the no action tag one, so it should save it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
If I move away
just go
from
to
it-
pet info, and
So it asks me whether I want to save it, because there is no action tags in this one.
all right, but leave without saving changes, just out of curiosity. All right, no record.
So until you say you want to save it, I think no record shows up.
All right, that's fine then. I just didn't want to see blank records get created, because
Right.
so many investigators are either upset or confused
By blank
they
records,
see
yes.
blank records. Like, the hell happened there?
So I've entered this and this now is still prompting me to save. If I hit reset, I think it is as if I entered data, even though it's blank currently. Because there's been a change. It's not the
Do
type of data.
something, leave without saving changes or do something and let me see. Nope. No record. And that's what, you know, you want that because you don't, that will preclude, that will allow somebody to look at the form if that's important.
There still should be no record for 3. Is that
There's
correct?
not. There's not. All right. So nobody's gonna excommunicate me. I just was asking the question to prove that this wouldn't. I was concerned because I saw your record 2 was blank.
Right.
That could
That
have
was me
happened, right?
testing
Yeah.
earlier. Yeah.
So, well, that's kind of sweet. I still am, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna have people come in and take a look at it, and
Well,
I don't know anybody that really does that, but
I'll give you an perfect example. One of my projects, they're helping out, the caller, and somebody else has to follow up and look at the record. And the record that they're looking at, the instrument that they're looking at has the date of contact and the date of the call set with today and now.
yeah,
And so 3 days later, user B is now having to look at that record, and they are constantly getting that save changes. And a lot of people near the beginning, before I informed them, they were going ahead and saving changes, and it was changing the date of contact and time. Now, if I put this particular action tag on those fields, they wouldn't have that issue
I got it.
if all they're doing is reviewing the form.
Yeah. Although you could correct that using a set value instead of default, right? Is that correct?
No, set value. What would I set value to today?
Yeah.
And then that happens every time. Default happens only the first time.
Okay, as long as it happens, whatever the one that happens.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know why, if you've said it the first time, why it would change.
Right. I don't think I used default. I think I used set value, or I used at today rather.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, good to know and good for people to understand how that works so that they don't go about changing the initial date and time of contact.
Right. So I
Sweet.
like,
Do you
I
like?
I like these new action tags. I want to see if I can figure out a way to use them other than on contact date and time.
All right, great. And so again, any questions about this?